How's it going, guys? So I figured I'd go ahead and make a very simple tutorial on how to script a gun where it will shoot, reload, show whenever it's emptied, and also if you want a custom scope to come up or not. The other thing that we have down here is a laser, and all it has is just a really simple script that's called shoot script. All these scripts don't have anything done to them yet, but they do have the components already added. So let's go ahead and open up the shoot script. We'll wait for this to load. Alright, so the first thing, as always, I always like to get rid of all of this stuff. We're going to go ahead and create a private rigid body, and we're just going to call this RB. We're going to say start RB equals get component of type rigid body. And then the next thing we want to do is update. We're going to say RB. Yeah, we'll just do RB, which we need to add force. We're going to go ahead and do transform dot forward, and we're going to multiply that by time dot delta time. We can also multiply this by speed if we wanted to. In fact, I think we will. So we're going to say private speed. Oh, wait. Float speed, and we'll make this equal to something like 200. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. There we go. Save. That's done. Next thing we want to do is we want to be able to create input commands. In fact, let's go ahead and just make sure that this is working. Okay, so I'm going to pause it. I'm going to hit play. And then I'll unpause it. This thing should go flying forward. It's a little slow, but an easy fix to that is if we take this, Control C, and then change this something like, I think 1500 should be good enough. Start. We'll come back in here, and by adding that to the start, what's going on is we're getting the component, and then we're automatically telling it, like, hey, this is what your start force is going to be, and then now just continue to add velocity to it as it goes. Still a little slow. Let's go ahead and add a couple more zeros to that just to see what happens. Usually I do create like a serialized property. This way I can edit it within the inspector. In this case, I'm just wanting to throw some numbers together real quickly. There we go. I'm happy with that. Starts off a little slow, but that's fine. So now that we have finished all of that, we can go ahead and delete. Now we're going to start working on the Sci Fi Gun. So we have an audio source, but no audio clips. And we have an animator, and we have the script attached to it. So is what I want to do, besides save, we're going to open up the script, and we already know that we have audio clips. So we know there's going to be a shoot and a reload. There are other ones too, like the scope and everything, but I'm not really worried about that too much. I've only created two audios. One of them is a shooting sound, the other is it going into like the reload and empty animations and everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to say private audio source. We're just going to call this AS, and then we're also going to have let's go ahead and do a serialized field. Really? Serialized field audio clip. We'll call this AC. We also have an animator, so we can go and say private animator. Man. NM. I think that's going to be it. So we're going to say start. We're going to say AS equals get component audio source. Of course, it's not here. And then we're also going to say we're actually going to change this audio clip to shooting sound and reload sound. There we go. And then we need to say nm equals get component animator. Now some of y'all have seen my tutorials before. Normally I will do this. And you might be wondering why I'm not doing this right now. Well, the reason being because this script is attached to the game object which you can't see right there, but it's attached to the game object that already has these components with the script. If it didn't have the components with the script, then I couldn't do it this way. So if we go and look at this, we'll see that we have the audio source and animator. Now if I had to call a rigid body, then I would have to say RB equals RB.getComponent. So what are we going to do in here? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check to see if we get an input. We're going to say input.getKeyDown. We'll go ahead and call this, I guess we'll just do key code F. Why not? If input get key down. Really? Key code dot R, which will be our reload. If input dot get key down. Let's see. Oh, S, because we need a scope. So now that we have set all of that up, the next thing we're going to want to do is we need something that will keep track of how many bolts we have. So we're going to do private int cur ammo, and we're also going to do max ammo. So start. Actually I'm going to make max ammo a public int max ammo. And I'm also going to create a new input key dot get key down. This will be keycode.p. So if you had like a pickup or something, like in the original Doom they had a backpack you could pick up, and that would increase your ammo count. So essentially that's what we're doing. If we hit P, we're going to increase our ammo count. So we're going to say max ammo plus equals, I don't know, let's just do 5. We'll keep it simple. And if we wanted to say this, what we could do is we could say playerprefs.setInt, and we'd want to say max ammo. And at the start is what we could do if, well, I actually want to say max ammo equals playerprefs.getInt max ammo. You don't have to actually add the second part on here. I just always do out of habit. And we need to check to see if max ammo is less than 5. And if it is, then we'll say max ammo equals 5. So this way, because anytime it gets that int, if the int ever shows up to be 0, then you won't be able to shoot at all. Every time you try to reload it, it'd just be at 0 and you couldn't do anything. And so that's why we want to do a check to see if it's less than what we're starting off with. If it is, then we'll just go ahead and set it at 5. And we can actually come in here, if we wanted to, come in here and we could go ahead and set that by simply copying this one line and pasting it right there. So this way it'd actually save that, and every time it started off, it would always be at 5. Not really required because it will always do this check, but in case you wanted to. So here we need to make sure that cur ammo is greater than 0. So we have to have ammo to be able to shoot. As long as we have ammo, then we'll say cur ammo minus minus. And also we want to come in here and we want to say cur ammo equals max ammo. Now we could save the current ammo if we wanted to, but I'm not really worried about doing that for this simple tutorial. Boy. So if we hit R, then we want to say cur ammo equals max ammo. So this will reset our current ammo. And if we hit scope, then, well, this is going to make the scope come up. So right now we can see that all this is set up. In fact, we could go ahead and do a quick run on this and make sure it is working. So we'll say debug.log. We don't need a log error. Current ammo equals plus cur_ammo. So I should be able to press F to shoot and R to reload. And we'll go ahead and hit play. So 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm still pressing F. Nothing has happened. I'm going to press R. Did I put that under the wrong... Huh, that's interesting. Oh, wait, I know what's going on. It's all collapsed. So because it's collapsed, that's why I wasn't seeing anything. But as we can see, each time I press R and I press F, it shows 4, which means I do start off with 5. It's just one shot has already gone off. So we're going to do one more thing. And we're actually going to do a serialized field. This will be a type game object. And this is going to be laser. So each time we press this, we need to instantiate the laser. So we'll say instantiate. And we'll say laser at transform.position. And you can do either quaternion.identity or you can do transform.rotation. In this case, I'm just going to do transform.rotation. No biggie. But we also want to do a sound. So we're going to say, let's see, we want to say audio source.clip will equal shooting sound, and then we'll say as.play. And if we hit the R key, we're going to say as.clip equals, I think I called it reload sound. Yep. We'll say as.play. Those are methods, so I have to make sure I add those in there. Control C, Control V. And we're actually going to say if sorry, I was thinking cur_ammo equals 0. This is where we're actually going to play the empty sound. So let's go ahead and add that in there real quick. We'll make sure it's working. And let's go to project. So we have the reload. We have shooting. We have laser, which is going to be this empty game object right here. Now this is basically just telling it where it's going to spawn in. So I'm going to maximize it, and we'll still see it over here as well. I'm going to hit play. Okay, so that seems to be working. That's my scope. This is straight up reloading. And that appears to be working. So I actually have a clone that's over here lost in space. Oh, I know why. So yeah, that was actually my fault. I need to have a separate script for the instantiation. I can't just keep instantiating empty game objects. I don't know what I was thinking. So the next tutorial we will fix that little issue, but it is instantiating, so it's doing what I want it to do, just not quite what I want it to do. An easy fix to this, honestly, would just be to take one of these lasers and replace that game object. It's a very, very cheap fix, but as you can see, it definitely works. So that's going to be it for this tutorial. After that, we're going to start setting up the animations and getting those working, and I will see you there.